Class, and welcome to this new session. We're starting our next chapter, that is chapter number 2, Magnetism and Electromagnetic Induction. This is Varsha Patil Gurve. Welcome you all. In this session, we are going to learn about the magnetism. First, we will see an introduction, magnet, its properties, lines of forces, laws of magnetism, magnetic flux, B, H, all the concept related with the magnetic flux density, intensity. So we start from here. First, in the introduction, as we all know that a magnet, it is a piece of a solid body which possess a property of attracting iron pieces, iron particle, and some other material also. This is called a natural magnet. While as per the discoveries by the Oyster, we can also have electromagnet. What electromagnet is? A magnetism due to passing an electricity. If the electricity is a cause, the magnetism is the effect. The property of current is called magnetic effect of electric current. Natural magnet or an electromagnet both have close relation with electromotive force. Mechanical force experienced by a conductor, electric current, etc. They are interdependent with each other. Electricity, magnetism and mechanical force. They have the strong relation between them. To understand this relationship, it is necessary to understand the basic concept of magnetic circuit. In this chapter, we are going to study about the magnetism, magnetic field due to the current carrying conductor, magnetomotive force, and some circuits or the differences between electric and magnetic circuit. Here, first we will see magnet and its property. Whom material we called as a magnet? Magnet is a solid state, piece of a material which attract iron particle or some other material particle, or which exhibit the property of attraction. Or if two magnet comes closer, then if they are like poles, they repel each other. There is a force of repulsion. As magnet is a piece of a solid body which possesses the property of attracting iron and some other metal pieces. When such metal body is rolled into the iron pieces, it will observe that the iron pieces is giving and accumulated at the ends. The maximum iron piece accumulated at the two ends, TW, two ends of the magnet, while very few particles are accumulated at the center. The points of the magnet at which the iron pieces collected in a maximum quantity are called poles of the magnet. I repeat this one. Poles of the magnet are such region where, or the points at which iron pieces collecting or accumulating at a maximum quantity are called poles of the magnet. While the imaginary lines joining these poles called axis of the magnet. Okay. Next one, when such magnet or such a magnetic body is freely suspended by a piece of a silk fiber, it turns and always adjusts itself in the direction of north and south pole of earth. Yes, it is true. We can do a little experiment with help of this. If you do a simple experiment, that is, if you freely suspended a magnetic body or magnet, the pole which adjusts itself in the direction of north is called north seeking or north, or simply N pole, while the pole which points in the direction of south is called south pole or denoted by the S pole. Such freely expanded magnet gives actual the direction or navigator used it in an actual practice, the property due to which it is used in a compass needle which is used by the navigators to find out the direction. Yes, it is true. There is another one most interesting property of a magnet, if you know about it. Magnet have dipole property. Di means two poles. If you cut the magnet, if you take a bar magnet and cut it into number of pieces, let's say 4 or 5 pieces, each magnet, each individual piece of the magnet also shows a dipole property. Dipole means it consisting both end and s pole. What I am trying to tell you, if you cut the magnet, मराठीमध्ये जर आपण एखाद्या मॅग्नेटला कट केलं आणि त्या मॅग्नेटचे छोटे छोटे तुकडे बनवले, तर प्रत्येक तुकड्यामध्ये प्रत्येक तुकडा आपण फ्रीली सस्पेंड केला, फेकून दिला, तर तो स्वतःला असा ऍडजस्ट करतो, असा ठेवतो की त्याचं एक टोक नॉर्थ पोल म्हणून पजेस्ट करतं आणि दुसरं टोक जे आहे ते ऍक्च्युअल रिअल साऊथच्या अर्थच्या रिअल साऊथला आणि अर्थच्या रिअल नॉर्थला पॉइंट आउट करतं. आणि याच प्रॉपर्टीमुळे आपण त्यांना कंपासमध्ये वापरतो. ओके. Now, when a magnet is placed near an iron or steel pieces, its property of attracting get transferred to the steel or piece. म्हणजे काय, तर आयर्न स्वतःची प्रॉपर्टी दुसऱ्याला देतो. Such transfer of the property of attraction is also possible by actually rubbing the pole of the magnet on an iron or steel pieces. Such property is called magnetic induction. And technically, magnetic induction is the phenomenon due to which a magnet can generate self-generation, induce a magnetism. Magnetism means a property of attracting the iron pieces toward magnetism in iron or steel pieces which get near in the of a magnetic material placed near it without any actual physical contact. It's called magnetic induction. An ordinary piece of a magnetic material, when brought near to any n pole or s pole, get attracted toward the pole. It directly means that as like an electricity, like poles, if like poles means if two like poles, if n pole of some magnet is being closer to the n pole of some another magnet, if you're trying to do this one, then we can experience the force of repulsion. Yes, there is a simple experiment, or we might be done in your childhood at many of the time. If you put in a single glass two of the magnet, it may be a ring shaped, or generally it is in a ring shape in toys or some playing games, or if it is in bar magnet, if you're trying to push them, they repel each other because n pole of one magnet and n pole of another magnet, they exhibit the property of repulsion. If they are like poles, there must be a force of repulsion, and vice versa. If we put n pole of one magnet in a glass and putting s pole another side, pole, how we can recognize the pole? There is a coating, or there may be a color coding to them, a red and blue color. Okay, so we can easily find out which one is in north and south one. The point to be discussed here is like poles repel each other and unlike poles, that means N and S, attract each other. So we can conclude here, like poles repels each other and there is a force of attraction in between unlike poles. Next one. Here is the laws of magnetism. There are two laws. Number one, which state that like magnetic poles repel and unlike pole attract with each other, as we already discussed. Law number 2, this law is experimentally proven by a scientist Coulomb and hence also known as Coulomb law. What is the statement? The force F exerted by one pole on the other pole is directly proportional to the product of the pole's strength and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. It also depends upon the nature of the medium surrounding the poles. And mathematically, it can be expressed as F force directly proportional to the masses of the two poles M1 and M2 and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them, where M1 and M2 are the pole strength of the poles, while D is denoted by the distance between the poles. So the proportionality constant may be written as K, where K depend upon the nature of the surrounding called permeability. Also, we can call permeability as a medium in which magnets are placed. Here is the concept called a line of force. What are the lines of force? Consider that a unit or isolated endpole. We cannot separate the pole, but imagine to explain the line of force. And it is allowed to move freely in the magnetic field. Magnetic field, the surrounding area of a magnet. Then the path along which it moves is called lines of force. Its shape is as shown. It is a circular or curvature shaped, and the direction is always from N pole toward the S pole, or we may also call the lines of force are generated or originated by N pole and terminated towards the S pole. The direction of lines of force can be understood with the help of small compass needle. If magnet is placed with compass needle around it, then the needles will take position as shown. Yes, the tangent drawn at any point of the dotted curve down gives the resultant force at that point in a magnetic field. The North Pole are all pointing along the dotted line as shown from the N pole toward the S pole. The lines of force of a bar magnet and U-shaped magnet, also we call horseshoe shape, is as shown. These are the imaginary lines. We can't see, we can't touch it, but we can experience it as like air, as like electron, which we can touch, we can see with our naked eye, but yes, we can experience them. In your school days, might be you done the experiment that sprinkling iron pieces or iron crust on a paper beneath which we kept a bar magnet so as to give a pictorial representation of a magnetic field. These crystals or the iron particle are arranged in a loop manner as shown in the figure A 3.8 bar magnet. There is creating a loop, a curvature lines. That curvature lines are nothing but called lines of force, which gives us the existence of magnetic field. जोपर्यंत ते दिसतात ते कर्व लाईन ते सतत अलाइन झालेले व्हाईट पेपर वरती ते लाईन्स ऑफ फोर्स आहेत. आणि त्या लाईन्स ऑफ फोर्स म्हणजे काय तर त्या मॅग्नेटची कॅपॅसिटी आहे, मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड आहे ती. आता तुम्ही छोटासा मॅग्नेट घेतला आणि टेबलवर ठेवला तर त्याचे जे मॅग्नेटिक लाईन्स ऑफ फोर्स आहे ते रूमभर होणार नाहीत, तर त्या तेवढ्या प्लेन पुरतं म्हणजे त्या कागदापुरतं, त्या कार्डबोर्ड पुरतंच मर्यादित राहते. ओके, सो जसं पाहिलं होतं एफ फोर्स इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू द मास. जेवढं साईज मोठं असेल तेवढं त्याचं मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड जास्त असेल. मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड जास्त आहे हे आपण कसं रेकॉग्नाइज करणार तर विथ हेल्प ऑफ दिस लाईन्स ऑफ फोर्स. ओके, मूव फॉरवर्ड. Come to the actual point, that is magnetic flux. What is the magnetic flux? How we can define this term? The magnetic flux is defined as the total number of lines of force existing in a particular magnetic field is called magnetic flux. एखाद्या magnetic field मध्ये एखाद्या पॉइंट वरती किती लाईन्स ऑफ फोर्स आहेत हे म्हणजे मॅग्नेटिक फ्लक्स. नाउ मॅग्नेटिक फ्लक्स इट is denoted by phi, a symbol 0 with a crossing line called phi. Lines of force can also be called lines of magnetic flux. The unit for magnetic flux is Weber, W-E-B-E-R, and it is denoted by a symbol phi. The unit Weber is denoted by WB, and most importantly 1 Weber is equal to 10 to the power plus 8 lines of force. Clear? Move toward the pole strength. Pole strength म्हणजे काय? The force between the poles depend upon the pole strength. Yes, it is true. Now, if we get flux, flux are nothing but a total number of lines of force in a magnetic field. 1 Weber is equal to 10 to the power 8 lines. म्हणजे जेवढे जास्त वेबर तेवढे जास्त लाइन्स ऑफ फोर्स असतील. ओके. Every pole has a capacity to radiate or to accept certain number of magnetic lines of force. Radiate म्हणजे फेकणं, देणं, आणि accept करणं म्हणजे घेणं. Accept कधी म्हणणार? जेव्हा अनलाइक पोल्स असते तेव्हा त्यांच्यामध्ये अट्रॅक्शन असेल. लाइक पोल्स असते तेव्हा ते रॅडिएट करतील. That is magnetic flux is called a strength, शक्ती, त्या पोलची, त्या एंडची. Pole strength is measurable quantity assigned to poles which depend upon the force between the poles. Laws of magnetism here. If two poles are existing or exerting equal force on each other, then they may be said to have equal pole strength. Unit of pole strength is also Weber, as pole strength is directly related to the flux, that is number of lines of force at a particular point. So when we say unit n pole, it means a pole is having a pole strength of 1 Weber, and remember 1 Weber is equal to 10 to the power 8 lines of force. Move towards the magnetic flux density. Magnetic flux density can be defined as flux per unit area. Now what mean by flux? Total number of lines of force at a particular point in a magnetic field. So magnetic flux density is nothing but flux per unit area in a plane at a right angle to the flux is called flux density, and it is denoted by letter capital B. Capital B means magnetic flux density. And as stated here, flux density is flux per unit area at a right angle in a plane. So B is equal to flux per unit area. So flux is denoted by letter phi and area denoted by A. So B is equal to phi by A. Now turn to the unit. Unit should be phi flux measured in Weber and area measured in meter square. So Weber per meter square is the unit for magnetic flux density. But in honor to the scientist Tesla, another unit is Tesla, denoted by letter capital T and written as T-E-S-L-A, Tesla. Okay. So magnetic flux density have both the unit, number one Tesla and second is Weber per meter square as mathematically formulated. Now how can get the concept of magnetic flux density? Here the diagram shows. Magnetic flux density B is flux per unit area. If we take a bar magnet, so we could imagine the lines of forces which originated by the N pole and terminated toward the S pole. Now we can call there is a flux. Yes, total number of lines of force. Now if you take a cross section area or a plane cross section area, let's say A, which measured in meter square, and if we trace a plane at a right angle, then whatever the number of lines of force passing through this area is actually calculated magnetic flux density at that point at a right angle in a plane. Okay. Now next will be magnetic field strength. I repeat, magnetic field strength, which is denoted by a letter capital H. This magnetic field strength gives quantitative measure of strongness or weakness of the magnetic field. How we can call a stronger magnetic field or weaker magnetic field? म्हणजे आपण कसं जज करणार की एखाद्या मॅग्नेटनी प्रोड्यूस केलेली मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड किंवा एखाद्या मॅग्नेटचा सराउंडिंग एरिया म्हणजेच मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड किती स्ट्रॉंगर आहे किंवा वीकर आहे, तर त्याचं मेजर घेण्यासाठी एक क्वांटिटी अराइज झाली विच कॉल्ड मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड स्ट्रेंथ डिनोटेड बाय H. Now how we can define this one? The force experienced by a unit म्हणजे एक unit n pole, that is n pole with pole strength 1 Weber. Remember this one. When placed at any point in a magnetic field is known as a magnetic field strength at that point. Clearly म्हणायचं झालं तर युनिट n पोलनी एक्सपिरियन्स केलेली स्ट्रेंथ म्हणजे त्या मॅग्नेटिक फील्डची त्या पर्टिक्युलर पॉइंटची फील्ड स्ट्रेंथ. It is denoted by letter H and having the unit Newton per Weber or Ampere per meter or Ampere turns per meter. The mathematical expression for calculating the magnetic field strength H is equal to Ampere turns divided by its length. Now, why we considering the Ampere turns? Turns are nothing but number of coils. नंबर ऑफ टर्न्स ऑफ अ कॉइल्स. म्हणजे एक वायर घेतली आणि त्याचे वेटोळे बनवले तर ते वेटोळे किती आहेत, लेट्स से आपण असं म्हणूया की त्यांचं जे राउंडिंग केलं आपण ते 5 नंबर आहे, म्हणजे त्याचे टर्न्स किती झाले 5. अँड नाउ वी आर नियर अबाउट द इलेक्ट्रोमॅग्नेटिझम. आपण इलेक्ट्रिसिटी पास करतो आणि मग मॅग्नेटिझम मिळवतो. तर हाऊ मच क्वांटिटी ऑफ करंट वी पासिंग थ्रू द लेंथ, it should be calculated by the field strength. So H is equal to number of turn N into Ampere upon L, which is also 80 by N. Last one is magnetic effect of an electric current called electromagnet. We already know that, but then also when a coil or a conductor carries a current, it produces a magnetic flux around it, or every current carrying conductor is surrounded by a magnetic field, and vice versa also. Then it start behaving like a magnet. Such a magnet which carrying a coil or a conductor is called electromagnet. This is due to the magnetic effect of electric current. As long as there is electric current, then and then also that piece of a metal should be possessed like a magnet. If such a coil is wound around a piece of a magnetic material like iron or steel and carries a current through the piece of a material around which the coil is wound, start behaving like a magnet, which is also practically called electromagnet. The flux produced and the flux density can be controlled by controlling the magnitude of a current. The direction and shape of that magnetic field around the coil or the conductor is depend upon the direction of the current and shape of that current through which it is passing. The magnetic field produced can be experienced with help of iron filling or compass needle. We already done in so many time in your school days. There should be a straight conductor or a circular coil. That's it. Thank you.